Have you ever wondered how you can write something like print brackets hello world and Python immediately knows what to do? Or why functions like length, range, type work without us writing any code for them? The answer is simple, those are functions. In fact, you have been using functions throughout this Python course without even realizing it. But in today's video, we will learn what functions actually are, how they work, and most importantly, how can we create our own functions. Hello learners, welcome to your learning hub, The Learning Loop. I am Swati Sharma and this is the 33rd video of my beginner friendly Python course series. If you are joining me for the first time, thank you for dropping by. And if you haven't checked out my previous videos yet and you are starting out on your Python journey, I will highly recommend you to go back and check those out so that you are all caught up. Before we proceed further, if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, please go ahead and press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you do not miss out on any future videos. From today's video, we will start learning functions in Python. So, without a further ado, let's dive in. Let's start with a simple question. What exactly is a function? A function is simply a reusable block of code that performs a particular task. Think of it like a machine. Whenever you need a particular task done, you don't create the whole machine again. You simply use it. Similarly, instead of writing the same code repeatedly, you place that code inside a function and use it whenever needed. Hence, functions help us reduce repetition, organize code, improve readability, and reuse code efficiently. Broadly speaking, there are two types of functions that we will discuss: built-in functions and user-defined functions. Let's understand them. Let's first understand what are built-in functions. Built-in functions are the functions that already exist in Python. Python developers have created these functions for us and we can use them directly whenever needed. The most interesting part is you have been using them throughout this Python course. For example, when you write print bracket hello, the print is a built-in function. Similarly, if you write length bracket Python, range bracket 5, type bracket 100, all these are built-in functions. We didn't create these functions, Python already provided them for us. So whenever you use print, length, type, range, and many others, you have been actually calling the built-in functions. Let's move to the second category, user-defined functions. These are the functions that we create ourselves. Whenever we want to perform a task that is specific to our program, we can create our own function. Let's learn how. Let's first learn the basic syntax of a function. The basic syntax of function looks like this: def function name brackets colon, hit enter, the next line is intended, and we will give the block of code. Let's understand this with an example. I will be doing today's demo in Google Colab and I will be pasting the link to this notebook in the description box below. So just in case you would like to come back in future and check the code out, you can go ahead and do that. Let's write our first function and learn the syntax along with it. In order to declare a function or in order to let Python know that we are going to write a function, we will write the keyword def, DEF, which is a short form for define. Whenever you are going to write this keyword DEF, the Python would know that you are now going to write a function or declare a function. The next part is writing the name of the function. You can give any name you would like. However, I would recommend to give the name which explains the purpose of the function. So anyone comes and looks at or calling a function would know what exactly this function does. in my case, I'm going to use the function name as greet, as I would be giving the greetings under this function. And then, very important, we need to give the parentheses or the brackets. Make sure you do give that. So for now, we are keeping it empty. In this video, we are not going to pass any parameters in these brackets. We will do that in the next video. For now, or for this video, we will keep it very simple. But make sure you give these parentheses. And then we can put colon, hit enter. The next line is automatically indented, and we will give any block of code. In my case, I'm going to give the greeting, so I will write print, let's say welcome to user find functions. Okay, and let's just run it and see what exactly happens. I will run it, and we can see we don't see anything. Even there, when I have given a print statement under the function, we don't see anything executed right now, because I have just declared a function. I have not executed a function. In order to execute this print statement or execute the function, we have to call the function. How we will call the function? We will simply write the name of the function along with the brackets. For now, we will, because we have not passed anything under these brackets, we will keep it empty, and I will just run it, and you can see the code has been executed, and we can see the print statement, that is welcome to user defined functions. So far, our function is just displaying the result. Let's say I want to store the value using a function for the future use. For now, what we with the print statement, we cannot store any value for the future use. In order to do that, we will have to use something called as return statement. Let's see how we can use that. Let's say I define a function or declare a function using def, and I say get number, and just brackets, hit enter, and I would say return, and let's say 100. Okay, and let's say I want to add something. I will say number is equal to get number, and I will say total result is equal to number plus 60, and let's print number and then print total result. You would see that it stored the 100 under the variable number when I tried to store the number using the get number function. And then when I added that number with 60, it actually gave me the result as 160. It's a very simple example, but the main idea is that you can use the functions to store the values as well that we need to use further in our program. Let's do one real world example as well. Let's say I want to build a calculator using a function which would ask a user to input two numbers, and then we will perform the function, whatever the function user want to perform on those numbers. Okay, let's define a function, and I'll say calculator, and I'm not going to give any input here, and then I'm showing first number, and I'm going to say int, because I'm going to use the input function which would give by default the result in a string format. And I'll see enter the first number. And then I'm going to do second number, and I'll say int input, enter is second. don't need to give underscore here. Second number. Okay. And now I will write task. My bad. These are the variables. It should be is equal to, and it should be is equal to, and I will say task. And I will say input, what enter the task you would like to perform. And I will say if task is equal to, let's say, and I'm going to do it dot lower because I'm not sure in which case the user is going to input the function, input it. So I'm going to make sure that anytime anything is being entered, we are doing it to the lowercase. So I'm going to say add or task dot lower is equal to addition or task dot lower is equal to plus. If any one of these matches, I would say I would print adding the numbers, and then I write print the result is, I'm going to add the numbers, first underscore number plus second underscore number. Same ways, I just want to write that. Same ways, I'm going to write the task for all the 4 mathematical operations, subtraction, and there is one more thing I would like to say, or make sure all the syntaxes are correct. You might get some error. I would also like to use task lower is equal to, anyone could say minus as well, so I don't want to leave that. And the next, that should be elif. And let's say if anyone types that is not in the list, I would say invalid task. Now let's just call our function calculator, and I'm going to hit this. Now it is saying enter the first number. Let's say I say whatever number, and then the second number, whatever, and but this should be equal to, let's try again. First number should be whatever, second number should be whatever, and the task I want to perform, let's say I say add. You can see it has added the numbers. Now let's again do whatever number and then whatever number, and now I will do some uppercase, lowercase things, and it will still perform the function and say dividing the numbers. It is very, very important to do the dot lower because we don't know in which case the customer or user would put their input in, and Python is a case sensitive language. So we want to make sure that we are not missing out on any use case the user might bring in. So instead of writing the uppercase, lowercase, we will just make sure that everything is in the lowercase. So we will use dot lower and then match with our results or with our options, and that will give more accurate results. Let's do one more use case where I give whatever numbers, and let's say I write a task that's not there, and it will say invalid task. Now it's time for you guys to practice. I would like you guys to write a program to check the grade of a student, wherein the student will input the marks of the 5 subjects, that is maths, physics, chemistry, bio, and English. And on the basis of the marks obtained, each subject's total is 100. You will check the percentage obtained by a student, and based on the percentage obtained, you will output the grade obtained by a student. pause this video, try this out, and if in case you are stuck somewhere, feel free to comment below and we can take up in the next video. If this video helped you understand functions a little better, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, happy coding.